Here's some advice from a fourth year senior in university on how to demolish school. If you are a high school student coming into university for the first time, you don't know where to start, or you are a university student and you want to just make an absolute academic comeback, this is the perfect video for you to watch right now. I can tell you right now, there's not going to be any visual effects. So if you want to go for a walk and just put this in your pocket, this will probably be one of the most valuable videos that you watch. If you don't know who I am, my name is Katkov. I'm the founder of UofTearless, a brand that I created to help students reach their academic peak. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I advise you guys like family members, so I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. So I came up with a list of 9 things that you can do to absolutely transform your life and make the greatest academic comeback of your life. The first one is going to be something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and it is to stop setting alarms. Understand that when you set an alarm, you are telling yourself that it is okay to go to bed late. It is much easier to wake up early than it is to go to bed early. So set an alarm for when you need it, for when you need to go to bed. This will help you wake up early. It's very hard to sleep in if you go to bed on time. People ask me all the time, Simon, how the heck do you wake up at 4:30 every single morning? It's not rocket science. I just go to bed at like 8:39 because I just get tired. It's really not that impressive. I still sleep the same amount as everyone else. I'm just sleeping earlier and waking up earlier. And by the way, there's nothing special about waking up early. The only thing I would say is that there is something special about your greatest productivity hours, which are usually right after your greatest session of uninterrupted sleep. That is the time when I get the most done. And I think that's the time when a lot of other people get the most done. It doesn't necessarily have to be at 4:30 a.m. I just wake up early because one, I like to see the sunrise, and two, nobody else is awake, so I can't be distracted. Understand that if you click snooze, you are basically telling yourself that your life is not important enough to show up for. And if you can't show up for it, then how do you expect that anybody else will? Because if you don't respect yourself enough to just get up in the morning, right? Like, I think we've all seen these clips of somebody who's like, I'll give you $1 million, but you can't wake up tomorrow. Would you take it? And they're like, no, I wouldn't take it. It's like, yeah, obviously, so it's important, but like, what are you actually going to do about that? If you say that you would not take the $1 million, that by definition means that your life is more important than $1 million, which means that you should be getting up in the morning the first time. And if you're not, then you're essentially saying that your life is not worth showing up for, and other people definitely will not show up for you. So get out of bed and just start your day, because I guarantee you that you're going to be so tired, you're just going to fall asleep at night anyway. Several things that will help with this from my experience in university: get a sleep mask, earplugs, blackout curtains, get a comfortable pillow, and then sleep with a fan pointed at you, because it is just so much better to sleep when you're cold. If you're sweating, it's just impossible to sleep. I understand that people sleep at different temperatures, but it is always better to sleep a little bit colder, to the point where it's kind of uncomfortable if you wake up in the middle of the night. That helps you sleep so much better, and sleep will make everything easier down the line. I think like 50%, maybe even like 80% of your problems, or of my problems in all of university, have been solved just by getting better sleep. Let your body wake up when it's done resting. The second thing is that if you're struggling to come up with a solution to any problem, start by, instead of trying to figure out what works, make a list of things that you know not to do and that you know don't work. Because either way, in either direction, you are eliminating alternatives. So if you don't know what way to go in the positive end of, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, like I don't know what to do, then just start by saying, I know what I shouldn't do. So if I were to approach an essay in school, it'd be like, okay, well, I don't know where to start, but like I know that I should probably not wait to look at it at the last minute, not plagiarize it, and I should not avoid getting help with it, because those are all things that are going to, really stop you from doing well on this assignment. So like, and then just take the opposite of it and do it. So like, if you're like, I shouldn't skip office hours, go to office hours. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, like, what shouldn't you do? Boom, they can tell me everything that they shouldn't do, because your brain is so good at recognizing how to avoid obstacles and avoid pain, but it's not really good at seeking for things. So if you just think of the pain first and then you just take the opposite of it, then that's probably going to be your solution, for being completely honest. And everybody always knows what to do, or you at least know how to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Also, a lot of the time, if things are really unclear, it is never worth procrastinating unless you're going to get more information on whatever it is that you're procrastinating on. So if you're just waiting to make up your mind, if you're not going to get any new information, just make a decision and deal with the consequences. And if we were all to just decide, like deciding takes most of the time. If you can cut that decision time down, you can move so much faster. You can get way more things done. And if you know you're not going to get any more information, then making a decision now versus in the future is not going to make any difference. Just pick something and you'll find out if it's wrong sooner. Like, wouldn't you rather know that something doesn't work sooner so you can do the thing that works more? You also know that the way you are now is not the place that you want to be and not where you want to go, which means that you're only delaying the positive, and whether one is better or not, it doesn't matter. Just choose it so that you're not actively choosing the negative. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, what you're not changing, you're choosing. And in the same vein, if you ever make a decision more than once, then write it down and optimize it, because the odds are you're going to make it way more times in the future too. Make schedules, make procedures, whatever you have to do. Just eliminate the amount of decisions that you have to make so you can save them for all the really difficult problems to tackle. The deep thinking, if you were to write an essay, the deep thinking is like the interweaving of ideas and the connections between the points and the evidence that you're using. But, deciding what toothpaste to use, or like what angle you're going to hold your toothbrush at, or what shirt you're going to wear that day, like it really doesn't matter, guys. Just choose. Like, choose once, or just like pick something that's going to be the same every single day. Like, I wear the same you probably see me in this flannel almost every single video, because I just don't want to have to think about what I'm wearing. And like, no, I'm not trying to be like dressed like a billionaire, dressed like a million. Like, I don't care. I just don't want to have to pick things. Like, you're not going to get rich by deciding to only wear one type of clothing. You're not going to get good grades by dressing like the billionaire dress code of the same thing every day in school. That's not going to get you good grades. You might end up dressing that way because you're so focused on getting good grades. It's not causation. It's just try to minimize the amount of decisions that you have to make. And if you make them more than once, then just figure out a system so that you don't have to make it again. It's already chosen for you. Every single day, eat the same breakfast, eat the same lunch, eat the same dinner, wear the same clothes, walk the same route to work or to school. Decide what time you're going to leave the house. Like, literally everything, your morning routine, make it the same. Your wind down routine. Your wind down routine, by the way, on the last note, is way more important than your morning routine. My morning routine is I get up, I brush my teeth, I take a piss, and then I go straight to work, like in my office. My nighttime routine is way more elaborate. It's like an hour before I wind down, I do this, blah, 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 and stretch out this foam roll of vagus nerve stimulator. It's a lot, but it really helps wind me down. And I spend way more attention on that than I do in the morning. Just get up and work. The work needs to be done. And you planning the work and thinking about the work are both not doing the work. People spend more time planning than they do actually doing. And that's why you get stuck. The fourth thing that I can recommend to you is, if you're not going to be tested on it in school, then never memorize anything that you can look up, because your brain is not meant to repeat things over and over again. What it is meant to do is to take a topic and connect it to something that you already know, and then that helps you internalize and shape the idea. But just repeating things over and over again, it's actually really bad at that, and it can't remember more than like 3 to 5 things. 7, I think, is the most in short-term memory. So you really just want to externalize all of those things that you don't need to have known. The idea of building a second brain, think of the internet as your second brain. It stores everything in the world. And now with AI, you literally don't even need to search it. You can just ask it to find things for you. It's like a librarian. Like, it knows where all the books are, right? It's so easy. Just type in, like, find me sources for this thing, and it'll just come up with sources. Like, you don't need to look for them. Use the tools you have, externalize things. Try to bring in things that are going to make you more efficient, but at the same time, try to do less. Bring in other things to take stuff off of your plate. Number 5, this is huge, and I think it's probably going to upset a lot of you. But don't hang out in the library with your friends. The reason for this is because you're going to convince yourself that you're doing work when you're not. We all do this. I used to do this back in first year. I used to pretend like I was working all the time. So I'd go to the library with my friends. We'd chat up a bit. We'd do some work for like 20 minutes, chat up again for another 20 minutes. Like, you know the drill. Get some food, go to the bathroom, like fill up my water bottle, blah, blah, blah. And we'd be there for like 4 hours, and I got maybe like an hour of work done. And you would be astonished by how little you actually work if you just set a timer and pause it every time you get distracted. I would recommend that you split it up. Hang out when you're doing something fun that's not in the library, because the library is not really fun. And then go to the library and just work. And if the person that you're working with does not make you want to work harder, does not explain things to you and make things easier, or does not push you actively, not just not getting in your way, but actively push you to do better, stop studying with them. You're better off studying alone because the cost of distraction from them is not outweighed by the benefit that they're providing you. If you think about everything on a grade point scale, maybe this person costs me 5%, but they give me 10%. That would be worth studying with them. But a lot of people will cost you like 30% and they'll give you maybe like 3. That is a terrible deal. I don't know why anyone would ever choose that. And a lot of the time, those friends that you see outside of class, those usually aren't the friends that you're going to want to see inside of class. A lot of the time, they're just acquaintances, and your really good friends are the ones who are going to understand, one, if you don't want to talk to them and hang out with them in the library, or two, if you want to actually work when you both are in the library. They're going to get it. They're going to help you out, and they're going to want you to do better because people are more willing to do things for other people than they are for themselves. So if not for yourself, then remove yourself from distracting others so that they can do better. Number 6, this one is huge. Half of the people you look around, 1 out of 2 of them is not doing it. When you create a positive habit, make sure you actually make it a habit. Don't just like start something and then be like, oh, I started this journey of like self-improvement and then I added in like working out this one day. Then tomorrow I'll do, really good food, and the next day I'll add in cardio, the next day I'll add in 10,000 steps, and the next day I'll bump up the weight. Slow down. You're not in a rush. A lot of people fail because they're in a rush. Make sure that the habit is cemented. Get really good at just maybe going for a walk every day, and then add in a little bit extra. You need a lot of time to build a habit. You need to make sure that it's the right habit that you actually wanted to build, and you need to make sure that that habit actually benefits you. Focus on one habit at a time, and then after that, then add something else. Make sure that it's like you don't even think about it anymore. It's just like I get up and do this. Like you brush your teeth, right? I get up and brush my teeth. It's not even something I have to think about, but I know it's beneficial for me. I know it's a habit I want to keep. It's not something that you have to think about every day. Like, oh, I'm going to brush my teeth or floss today. Like, yeah, you are. But then it's like, oh, well, I wash my face too. Okay. Well, now I have to make sure that I wash my face every day. And then I'll start adding in like 1 moisturizer or 2 moisturizers or, sunscreen. Just to add it in a little bit at a time. You don't want to just rush into everything. Because a lot of people stop things because they get confused. And when they get confused, they feel overwhelmed. They feel like their ability to achieve a goal is diminished and the probability of them achieving it is less likely. And they also start disliking it because there's too many things that you don't know. And when you don't know something, you usually don't like it. Obviously, we like things that we're good at, and we probably don't really like things too much that we're bad at. If you are really good at memorization, you probably hate statistics. If you're really good at math, you probably hate multiple choice questions. It's just how it is. But if you get really good at something, you can actually force yourself to like something. So get really good at one habit, and then you'll actually like doing it. You'll see the benefit from it. Then you can add in something else. Don't rush into things. You're not in a rush. Number 7, do fewer things. And this might sound super counterintuitive, but from a 4th year in university, the less you do, the better you do them. I wanted to do everything under the sun back in 1st year and 2nd year. I remember there was one semester where I was on the rowing team. I was taking all 5 classes, like 5 classes, full course load. I was in biochemistry and human molecular genetics was my major, so very difficult major. I was also filming videos every single day, going for an extra run on top of rowing training. And then every rest day on Sunday was supposed to be our rest day. I would just run a marathon because, why not? And then we'd have races every Saturday. So I'd be cutting weight on Friday, I'd be racing every Saturday, and then I would run a marathon on Sunday. And then I would repeat that every single day, go through the week, be absolutely destroyed, and try to keep up with that. I also tried to start my first business way back then, and I was practicing piano 1 to 2 hours a day, so there literally was no time. And I also spent time talking to my friends, so I slept maybe 5 hours, burnt out, did everything terribly. Now, I'm running UofTearless, I'm on the rowing team, and I'm doing classes. And classes kind of interlink with UofTearless. So really 2.5 things, and I am freaking nailing it. I am just absolutely destroying it. I'm on my game. Every day I wake up, I'm I know exactly what to do. This is the thing that's going to benefit me for tomorrow. This is the thing that's going to benefit me for the week from now. This is for the month. This is the year goal. I know exactly what to do, and I just get up and I start. But when I was doing so many things, I didn't even know what to do. It confuses you. And when you have ambiguity, you don't want to start something. Procrastination and fear really only exist in the unknown. As soon as you know something, you know exactly how long it's going to take, what you have to do, the steps to do it, or how to figure out the step. It's pretty easy to start. You say I have to write an essay. Well, I don't know what the assignment is, but I know that I can just go to my computer. I can open the computer. I can log into the portal. I can open up the assignment. I can read the syllabus. Then I can create a new Google Doc. Then I can write my name and my student number. Then I write a title sentence. Then I can write my hypothesis. Very simple steps. Treat yourself like a 5-year-old. I talk to myself like I'm 5 sometimes. And that's how I do things really quickly, because you just build momentum on small tasks. And the small tasks, by the way, are not small tasks. They're just part of a bigger task. But then you can also quantify the amount of things that you've done. So you can say, like, this task, this essay, instead of being, it's either done or not done, it's, 60% done, 70% done, 75% done. Instead of just, I need to work on this essay, it's not done yet. It's like, I'm 70% of this essay, I only have 30% left. Once you get more than halfway, you're like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna knock this thing out today, tomorrow, next couple hours. The last thing, number 9, and I'll give you a bonus one also, but number 9 that I planned is to find someone who's gonna hold you accountable. You are way more likely to succeed. I think it's 2 to 3 times more likely to succeed in anything if you have somebody doing it with you. Find a friend who wants the same things as you, who's going to work as hard as you or harder, and who actually wants the same goals from that work as you. So if somebody wants to work really hard, but they only want a 50% in the class, don't work with them. And the reason is because they're in the vehicle to get a 50%. Think of it this way. If you were to run down a street, you would probably want to strap on some running shoes and run. That's faster than walking. And if somebody was in a car, you'd probably beat them down the block. Assuming the person starts outside the car, like he has to get into the car, start the engine, start driving, pick up speed, and then cross the end of the finish line, where you just get to run. You accelerate really fast and you just go. But if you were to go 2-3 blocks, the car's going to destroy you. It doesn't matter how fast you run. It doesn't matter what gear you have. Like, you got the best running shoes in the world, the best coach, be as fit as possible, but a car is always going to destroy you in a 3-block run. It doesn't matter. And so if somebody's going for the A, which is the equivalent of being in the car, it doesn't make sense for them to race somebody if that person is only going for the block. They might think that they're working hard, but effort does not determine the outcome. What determines the outcome is leverage. So if you have more leverage, that car, that motor, that's leverage, that is much more beneficial to producing more results, not necessarily faster, but more than the person who's running. They have their heart, they have their cardiovascular system, they have their legs. One's going to accelerate you much faster, but one is going to give you so much more in return. So it's not about effort. Return, by the way, the leverage is just how you study. So study better. You can go to lecture, actually understand what's going to be said, actually make sense of things when you write them on the midterm or the final. The other person's just going there. They're like, I go to every lecture. I study in the library for 8 hours. I'm like, I prepare a little bit before lecture. I go to lecture, do some review. The next day I do, like, maybe I work for 30 minutes on that course. And I do that for the rest of the semester, kind of just repeat. And I have never had a problem on an exam just because I know what to do. It's like, we're just like, whoa, you only study 30 minutes a day? Oh, you must be garbage at this class. I'm like, nah, no, I'm actually doing pretty well. And they're like, Dan, how do I do that? And I'm like this. And I just give them all my secrets. By the way, if you want all of my secrets, there is a link in my bio. I've written up all of this stuff in much more detail. And if you want somebody to hold you accountable, I also have a mentorship program. If that's something you'd be interested in, I'll basically walk you through all of school. You can go on for as long as you want, start whenever you want. And I've helped personally many students go through this process, especially first years. They have a lot of trouble. So I want to guide them, make sure they're on the right track, and just kickstart their university experience, absolutely destroy it for a semester, and then just live life happily for the next 4 years, because that's what I wish I had, and I want to be the resource that I wish I had back then. This last one, the bonus feature, is that procrastination often comes from a lack of self-identity. Procrastination directly comes from a lack of priorities, but your priorities are determined by your self-identity. If I identified as somebody who was an absolute demon video gamer, I'm going to be playing video games all the time. That is my priority. I don't care about anything else. If I identify as being the best student in the universe, I'm going to be studying all the time. I'm going to be constantly figuring out how to study better, and I'm not going to care about video gaming. So 2 different people, 2 different priorities, both are working equally hard. The video gamer is not going to want to study, and the studier is not going to want to play video games. That's just how it works. And so often I'll go through weeks of just identifying with one way. Like 1 week I'm a content creator, just absolutely grind, pump out tons of content. And the next week I'm like, oh crap, I have to catch up a little bit on school. Now I identify as the best student in the universe, grind school, caught up with both, and I kind of just cycle between them. You don't have to pick one forever. It's not how it works. You want contrast. You don't want balance, because balance is doing both things at the same time, and you can't do either one well. Instead, hyperfixate on one, finish it, hyperfixate on the other, then finish it. And this is going to shift your priorities. So instead of my priorities being, oh, I make a ton of content, next week it's my priority is I study a ton of time and I get a lot of shit done for school. And then the next week I shift back. Now my priority is back to content. And it's because I identify as a content creator, and then I identify as the best student in the universe, the back to content creator. So with that, I will leave you. Thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a ton of freaking value out of this. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. If you're new to the UofTearless tribe, welcome. We love you. If you are an OG fan, thank you for all the support. I love you too. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, because I want you to be part of my UofTearless tribe family. We are the absolute best students in the universe, and everybody knows it, so you want to be part of it. Think of me as your university big brother. I will just give you all of the secrets that I know so that you can make your life easier. Also, check out the link in the description for more resources to make school suck way less, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.